What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, that's Scott Savage, and you can join us at InsideTheGame.ca, our YouTube channel at Inside the Game Official, podcast services, thanks to our friends at Fired Up Network, and all those beautiful TV streaming platforms around the globe. Roku, Amazon Prime, Samsung Plus, Jinx Esports TV, ESTV, and a whole lot more. Scott, we got a whole lot to talk about today. What's on the show?
We have gaming on the iPhone 15 Pro in the future. Some big names there. Unity is adding a fee, and that's set the world on fire. Call of Duty 2025 has a little bit of detail coming to light, and Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty stream is happening tomorrow.
Nice, but before we get there, quick little announcement about some games we're covering. Scott, before we get into it, dude, there's two things coming out our way today, and that's first impressions on Liza P, and later today, your full review of Gunbrella, which was looking like a cool game. Dude, these games are looking pretty sweet. You and Steve jumped into Liza P. First thoughts, quick impressions. What's off the top of your head with that one?
Seems to be, and I have to say seems to be, I'm not through it yet, but an incredible game. Dark Souls-esque. Kind of Sekiro thrown in there too. Nice. I'm liking what I see so far.
And then in the Gunbrella, you can get that later today too. Make sure you check out both of these over at InsideTheGame.ca as well as our YouTube channel. We'll have them both there. Scott, quick little synopsis on Gunbrella.
Oh, you're on a road to revenge. You have an interesting parasol, and when it rains, it pours.
Nice. Let's get kicking into the show. Let's go. Scott, times are changing, buddy, as looks like the mobile gaming is getting into more of the hardcore gaming space. Here's what games you can play on the iPhone 15 Pro. This is Stephen Kirby over at Insider Gaming. In what has been described as a huge announcement by Apple, it has been revealed that you'll be able to play some major AAA games on the new iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. But which games you can play on the iPhone 15 Pro and when? The first three games to be announced as being playable on the iPhone 16 Pro, Scott, are Death Stranding. Dude, 16, is that a mistype or is that a proper thing there?
I'm not certain now because I thought this was
I think it's a 15. I'm going back to 15, Scott.
There are often
typos.
Little typos here. Yeah, we've discovered a lot of them on the show.
Yeah. But let's get back into it, as the first three games to be announced being playable on the iPhone 15 Pro are Death Stranding, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and Resident Evil Village. As for when these games will be available, it has yet been announced, but two of the Resident Evil titles in Death Stranding will be available for iPhone 15 Pro later this year. Assassin's Creed Mirage, another game that has been announced to be coming to the mobile device, has been announced to be coming to dude, this is a jumble mess of words. iPhone 15 Pro in 2024. Scott, times are changing, man. This is weird. Do you ever expect this? Like, as we've seen mobile progress and our phones get more and more technical, the level of fidelity, graphical house power alone has just jumped from where we started to where we are today. It is almost one-to-one what we get on the console, it feels like, to these standards. But dude, I still don't want to be playing hunched over like this on my phone as I'm tapping away on a screen. I don't want that.
I'm thinking of all of the Uber drivers that are going to be playing Death Stranding, and very well-fitting game for that. But I was expecting, with each iPhone that comes out, I don't have an iPhone, first of all, I should state that. But each year it seems like they drop more functionality, or they take away the headphone jack, or whatever it is. But
sure.
I wasn't expecting it to swing back the other way really hard into serious gaming. You just play Assassin's Creed Mirage on a phone. Just sounds like such a wacky idea if you go back a couple years ago and say it even.
No, absolutely. This is something I didn't expect to come around, I guess, already, in a sense. It's just not where I choose to play games either, really. I'm not a mobile gamer. I've tried to get into a couple. I'm like, I can't. I last like 30 seconds. I'm like, I'm out. This isn't for me whatsoever. The last thing I want to do is play Assassin's Creed Mirage on my phone. But it is an option to take it on the go. Here's the thing I want to know is, can we do the cross save, right? We get this cross save functionality coming in across the board now when it comes to the industry, and how we are able to pick up games and keep our save file and then transition onto another device, and away we go, continue that on. Can I do that on the iPhone 15? Because dude, game changer, right? If this is allows me to then go, you know what, I'm gonna go run a side mission or a side quest or something along that line, something a little bit more small scale. I have 15 minutes while I'm waiting for so and so to show up, or I'm standing in line for something. I'll just jump into the game. And away I go. Oh man,
the hours I had to play all through college, that I would have had so much of a fun time with an iPhone like this.
Right?
That was more than a decade ago. However.
I don't want to play Candy Crush, right? I want to play these games. These games I already experienced on my home consoles. So if I'm able to take that same experience and then move it on to the mobile device and then carry on. We talk about this cloud streaming technology that we're getting into, especially as of late. Dude, I use my Logitech G Cloud all the time. That thing is cool, except for last night it didn't want to work for me for some reason. I was having a hard time last night.
No Starfield then.
No, dude, that's my whole plan. Because I jumped into Starfield and it was just lagging. I don't know if our internet over here was just having a hard time last night or what, but for the most time, dude, I'm having a great time. My kid is on my TV playing the PS5. I jump into Starfield with my Logitech and just cloud stream through the Xbox, and away we go. If we can get into that technology here and be able to carry on, bring over my save file, do whatever it is, if it allows us to continue the experience, I think that's the highlight for me going forward. But if I am downloading Assassin's Creed Mirage and having to go from start to finish on the phone and not any other device, that's not what I'm looking for. But it's still a pretty cool feature, dude. That's solid if we can get to that level right now.
It's going to be a large download too, so I'm wondering how that's going to work. 128 gigabytes will fill up very quickly. But we're also getting into the territory that Nintendo had this conversation in about, sometime about a decade ago, to create the Switch, which is almost exactly this on premise. You want to take your serious games on the go. It's Nintendo, so it's only so serious. But I'm wondering now if this is Apple stepping into the gaming space in a big way. First of all, my father predicted this about a decade ago. But also, Nintendo is going to have to perhaps upgrade that OLED screen.
Well, the competition now has really kind of stepped up for Nintendo when you take a look at it, right? They've been able to kind of craft this on-the-go device for themselves with the Switch. They tried with the Wii U, wasn't really a takeoff, let's be honest. But then the Switch comes out and just does banger numbers. Everybody's looking for the Switch too. Now we've got Xbox getting us X Cloud, so we can go wherever we want. I've got the Logitech G Cloud. PlayStation's got the PlayStation Portal coming up. Nintendo is waiting on Switch 2. Now we've got the iPhone 15 Pro later this year that allow us to get into some other bigger titles that we're getting that AAA experience. Dude, the mobile market is definitely changing and evolving and moving things forward, and Nintendo has more competition now than ever. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Are they going to have to step back into consoles in a big way?
Ooh, could you imagine? I don't know if I ever see Nintendo stepping back that way though, right? For Microsoft and PlayStation to move forward, dude, I expect a PlayStation 6 console sitting in my living room, right? That's what I'm waiting for. But dude, take a look at it. Even though they're gone, Stadia, rest in peace. They were all cloud technology, right? That was just streaming, straight up streaming. Just like you watch Netflix, that's how we played on Stadia. iPhone has that capabilities probably to do the same thing. Apple is coming into our ecosphere, dude, and competition's good. But Nintendo, I don't know, man. We'll see where Nintendo lies. So do we go back to that home console? Right now, you have the dock, you put the Switch on it, and away you go. But at the same time, I'm going, man, I don't know. I'm definitely curious to see where Nintendo goes next, because they got some fierce competition that they just never seen come around before like this.
Absolutely.
Scott, topic number 2 is one of the most bizarre ones I've seen in a very long time. Actually, we've seen some pretty weird articles come up as of late, but Unity adding a fee for each time a game is installed. If you don't know what Unity is, it is a video game engine which allows developers to make a game and then produce it. So here's the side of it. Unity used to be the leading charge for indie developers because it was cost effective, easy to use, and just get in, get your game, and then get out kind of thing. Where Unreal Engine, on the other side of it with Epic Games, is a bit more complex. Couple other different fees, this, that, and the other. But this has stirred the industry in a blaze as of yesterday. Brendan Sinclair over Games Industry tells us a little bit more. Unity is adding a new charge for every time a game using the Unity engine is installed, the company announced. Starting January 1st, a Unity runtime fee will be charged to any game that has passed a revenue threshold in the past year and a lifetime install count. The amount of the fee and the threshold in question vary depending on the type of Unity subscription the developer has. For Unity Personal and Unity Plus users, the thresholds are $200,000 in revenue a year and $200,000 lifetime installs. For Unity Pro and Unity Enterprise accounts, the thresholds are $1 million in revenue a year and $1 million lifetime installs. The fees also vary, with Unity Personal developers having to pay the most for every install above the threshold. They pay the most personal because there's a lot of indies that use this. So they set them up. Like, that's the other side of it, right? So the install above threshold is 20 cents, while Unity Enterprise accounts pay the least of 1 cent for every install above 2 million. The fees are reduced for developers in emerging markets, with Unity Personal accounts paying 2 cents per install above the threshold, and Enterprise accounts paying 0.005 per install.
Hey, penny.
Yeah, right? Existing games built on Unity will also be hit with runtime fees if they meet the threshold starting January 1st. Quote, "We chose this because each time a game is downloaded, the Unity runtime is also installed," the company explained in adding in the fee. Also, "We believe that an initial install-based fee allows creators to keep the ongoing financial gains from player engagement, unlike a revenue share." Scott, this is where the world got set in a blaze yesterday, because it was ridiculous what I saw. So Ralph is one of the people I follow over at Hinterland Studios. Been around a very long time, made a ton of games, and he went on a pretty good spiel in his LinkedIn post, stating that this is absolutely ridiculous. Unity's monetization of the engine has gone from bad to worse over time, and today hit an all-new low. That's just the beginning of where he went with that. And then to get in one step further, Cult of the Lamb developers stated, "Buy Cult of the Lamb now, because we're deleting it on January 1st.
Yeah, this is going to cause a big exodus of companies that have done successfully, which is kind of the opposite of what you want under your umbrella.
This is nuts. Absolutely insane to think about. Unity, I've seen a little bit of backtracking in the meantime as well, coming back and trying to booze their way out of this. But dude, this is, from what Ralph has stated, corporate greed at the top, right? That's what it comes down to. They're not helping the developers. Everybody now is about to jump ship. They're going to get out of this. I've seen Twitter just take a blaze too, and all kinds of things. Unity used to be for the indie developers, and now it's not. It doesn't seem that way, which is too bad, because a lot of people want to get into this game industry, and it is tough. Dude, this is a tough market to enter into. It is very competitive, and then when you get more taken away, especially if your game is made with Unity years ago, and now you're about to get dinged a new fee on January 1st, that's why Drinkbox is like, yo, we're out. Like, yeah, come on.
That's a puzzling situation, and it's not good for industry or indies in the industry as a whole. And that's where a lot of the great ideas come from.
Absolutely. If it wasn't for indies who carry us through from one game into the next AAA game that we were hoping to experience, we wouldn't really have a lot to play. Think about that, right? We get a AAA game every so often. Granted, this year has been one of the most incredible years we've had in a very, very long time.
It is hard to complain at this moment.
It is, but we've seen our lows, right? And those lows get often picked up by the indie developer. And some of the most exciting and most incredible games come from the indie developer, because they're not afraid to get in and come out with new ideas. Where you get into the AAA space, they're like, okay, well, The Last of Us 1, and granted, I'm not crapping on The Last of Us by any means. But, for example, right, The Last of Us did so well that let's make The Last of Us 2 because we know it's going to do well again. And they change up little things here or there. But when you get into Drinkbox and what they've done with Guacamelee and other titles that they've created along the way, dude, they've all been so different, so unique, right? And it gives them that freedom and that opportunity to create wild games, Cult of the Lamb. And you get into all these certain situations that you just wouldn't expect from, say, like a higher AAA studio, where we saw PlayStation shutter the team behind Concrete Genie, because that, as creative as that is, right? It wasn't profitable enough, but if they're a small indie developer, like maybe like Drinkbox, that does well. And if they use Unity, it's even cheaper until now, starting January 1st. Crazy, man.
For topic number 3, we have Call of Duty 2025. The report reveals the first details, and this is from Cade Onder at Comic Book. A new report outlines what we can expect from Call of Duty 2025, and it sounds like it could be a real crowd pleaser. Call of Duty has been running non-stop for 20 years now. After all these years, the franchise has consistently had a new game ready for release every fall. Some would argue that this has been harmful for the franchise, and there were games that could have used delays. But Activision has ensured that the franchise continues to rake in handfuls of cash, and is frequently the best-selling game of the year. Yeah, it's really hard to complain to them. Fans are interested to see what Microsoft does with the rollout of the series after it takes control of Activision, but that is still a ways off. Yeah, the song that never ends.
Yep.
This year will be pretty weird for Call of Duty, as it's a direct sequel to last year's game and will use the bones of Modern Warfare 2, both the reboot and the 2009 original, to make something both new and familiar. It was heavily rumored to be just an expansion at one point, but plans reportedly changed as the scope for the project grew. However, this may be a formula we see again in the future. I think that's accurate. Next year, Treyarch is expected to release a new Black Ops game, but it is unknown what will come after that. According to a new rumor from insider Al Boberto, interesting name, they always have interesting names, via Charlie Intel, Call of Duty 2025 will be somewhat similar to Modern Warfare 3 in that sense that it will feature a bunch of remastered maps from Black Ops 2. It's unclear if it will be the entire launch map rotation, just like Modern Warfare 3, or if it'll be a bit more selective. Whether or not this would be DLC is unclear, but the leaker also did note that plans could change. With Microsoft coming in and the potential performance of Modern Warfare 3, Activision could totally scrap the plans or expand on them. It seems like the series is undergoing a lot of adjustments as Activision looks to the future, and those plans may not be totally consistent for the foreseeable future. So there is a bit of flux happening under the Call of Duty hood. But this is interesting because it brings up what is after this. Is it a reboot / remaster of the Black Ops series? That could be very interesting. But we're pulling maps from Black Ops 2 for the first entry of this. Makes it kind of strange. Where are they coming in if they are doing a remaster?
Dude, I'd love to see Black Ops get rebooted. I love the Black Ops series when it comes into Call of Duty. For me, it's much more my playstyle. A lot more sneaky stealth, espionage kind of esque. Mind you, Modern Warfare 2 had a lot of that as well with its latest game. And now 3 is coming around the corner. There's a lot to Call of Duty, man, that just never seems to end, right? And then you talk about getting into like Warzone and things like that. It's been a big change for the franchise as a whole. And then 2025 seems to be leading up. Dude, where's the break they're supposed to take here?
Yeah, it seems to not have happened, but after all of the focus on Ghost in the Modern Warfare reboot, I was thinking we were going to go to Call of Duty Ghosts, because that is a title all about that similar idea, but I'm wondering if this will indeed be a Black Ops 2, or if this just a kind of a DLC, as we thought this one was rumored to be. But in any case, the idea of reboots, remastered Call of Duty, please roll it back. It's the only time I'll ever ask for World War II Call of Duty again. Big Red 1. I don't know if anybody remembers Call of Duty 2, Big Red 1. That thing, formative memories for me.
That's fair. I don't think you'll get it though, but you never quite know. I don't think they're going to plan on slowing down. Call of Duty is one of the biggest juggernauts in the gaming industry. Everybody knows the name. Everybody buys it every year, right? It's the same thing over and over and over again. That like, oh, we're tired of Call of Duty. But yet you buy it next year, and then you buy it the year after, and then you buy it the year after. You can't be that tired of it, right? And it just keeps producing. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 made the biggest buttload of money it's ever seen in a matter of days, right? And then all of a sudden, people are going, well, I'm tired of Call of Duty. Until Modern Warfare 3 drops, and then you fork out the money and buy that one. Hopefully it's good. Dude, I thought the campaign was fantastic. Then we're going to get into 3. I'm hoping the campaign's good there too. I jump into the campaign. Here's the other side of it too. Dude, I played more multiplayer for Call of Duty this year than I have ever done in the past. Ever. I know. So it hooked me in a new way. I was like, really, this is kind of cool. I'm liking the new modes. I'm liking the multiplayer. I'm in here. I'm in there. I'm like, man, I'm at like 40, 50 hours. Granted, that's not a lot when you're a major Call of Duty player, but for somebody like myself, who's normally just jumps in the campaign and then bails, yo, that's a lot of time on a game I don't normally play. And then if we get into Modern Warfare 3, I wonder if I'm back in for the same thing, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
We review it every year. We enjoy it. We have a good time. And then Corey just never lets it go.
A lot of people treat it as just a multiplayer only thing, right? And in that sense, it does feel like just a map pack.
Yeah,
it's almost like you are playing the same Call of Duty from 20 years ago, but it's just map pack after map pack after map pack, and that's a good turn. Black Ops were always my favorite, so I am hoping that comes in.
Hopefully, dude. I love Black Ops. So cool. Scott, just a quick one to end off the show. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty live stream is coming tomorrow, and it's going to feature a couple surprises. Dude, I'm pretty excited to get into the DLC that I never thought I'd get back to.
I'm kind of surprised there's DLC just in general for this game, and it lived as long as it did. I need to download this all over again.
Yeah, I got it downloaded. I'm all set, ready to go. I finished it a long time ago, and after that, I said, that's it, I'm done. I don't think I'll ever be back. And now with the DLC, we're getting into Phantom Liberty. I'm like, yo, this looks like cool. I really want to get back into this world and experience what's there for us, right? It'll be viewable on Twitch, YouTube, September 14th. Don't know the time. It wasn't really told. So it'll be there, but expect some surprises. You can get the DLC on September 26th for $30. So keep that in the back of your mind. You're going to be paying a couple bucks for this thing. But again, if it's anything like CD Projekt Red has done in the past, $30, it's going to be well worth our time. I think that's the exciting part. Never thought I'd be back in the world of Cyberpunk, man. I got to be honest.
I'm hoping. Is this Blood and Wine, but for Cyberpunk? I hope so.
Right? Like those pieces of DLC for The Witcher 3 were incredible. So here we go. Back down this line of DLC. That $30 is going to be hours upon hours. It's not just a 10-hour campaign. I'm thinking maybe like 30, 40, 50 hours. There's so much to do.
CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red, are they back?
Well, fingers crossed. Scott, it's another day, which means more games are on the way and some cool ones today. What do we have?
That's right. We have Land Above, Sea Below on PC. Super Bomberman R2 is on PC, PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, X, and the Switch.
Attack or defend your cat.
We have Gunbrella, as mentioned at the top of the show. We now have a review just dropped live. Gunbrella is on PC and Switch. If that's not your speed, though, Liza P, we also have a preview up of that. Very interesting. And lastly, we have Urbo, and that's released on the PC today.
Nice. Well, that'll wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news each and every day. We'll be back again tomorrow. I'm Drew. That's Scott.
And we'll see you inside the game.